So yes, we came back out to the wilderness. Let's take this hypothetical situation.
Are you listening?
There's some people in the world who don't understand that when you use certain tactics, you know, to intimidate somebody who's part of a protected class, and you're saying that you want to take these steps or legal actions against somebody because they're disabled or they're, you know, a person of color.
Are you listening?
Still some big smarter than the average bear.
You know, you're infringing on somebody's civil rights.
Damn.
Please stand by.
Another thing, the board that you are on, it does the Southern California. We are nearing the end of our journey now. Within the state park wilderness are more than 54 miles of summer hiking trails and, in winter, many miles of snowshoeing across country ski opportunities.
Yes.
This is, by the way, one of the very
It is, isn't it?
areas of Southern California, and it has been busy.
Yes, that's Windy Point. Yeah, it is Windy Point.
Station. For those who wish to venture beyond the mountain station, be sure to get proper clothing, hiking boots, and please stay on the prepared trails. So this magnificent wilderness is straight road next to the mountain. In the mountain station, you'll discover the
That's the fire
tram
road. Yeah.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, welcome to the mountain station. As we go into the dock, we may bump the sides just a bit.
Open the door.
This is where we tuck and roll.
Gonna be rolling a long way.
The sky's so pretty.
We're gonna get a beautiful photo right at the top here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you are.
Have you all been?
Miss that 9:30 car.
Oh,
If you do by any reason miss that 9:30, well then that's too bad. I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty, everyone. Once that car comes to please stop. Go ahead and exit to my right and go directly into the building, as I do have to keep the dock there. Have a good one. Be safe and have fun.
Thank you.
Sorry. Guess where we are. It does, but it's not. It actually feels good.
Yeah, this is a cool bill.
Okay, I'm not flipping my viewfinder up, but yeah, we're here again. Hello. Yes. We decided to come back out to the wilderness just because.
It was calling.
It was calling, so we decided to go. It's so nice out. Ooh. Yeah, let me get down this hill. There's our stream. It's a lot lower this week.
Wearing this jacket,
Yeah.
it almost feels like a cold sweat.
Yes. Because I feel like I could take off my jacket. Here's the good part of the stream. And there's our spot. Woo, hello. So yes, we came back out to the wilderness. Oh.
Hi guys.
Hi. Oh, we just thought after the week and stuff, it would be nice to cleanse ourselves in nature, plus it feels good. Ugh. I'm gonna show you guys my shirt. I'm wearing my soup of the day whiskey shirt. Yeah, so soup of the day, whiskey, doesn't murmur. Yeah, so yeah, I know, like, it's been a few days since I've vlogged and stuff, but I posted Vicious Poison, my new beat mix. Go listen to it. It's good. It's so good.
He was my best friend. But it's not like it sounds. But he's just like a little girl. According to the experts, men are very fragile. They can get crushed down if you assert yourself in any way. You have to be very tricky.
I feel like I really kind of nailed that Ice Spice drill type beat, so yeah. When we go back up, we're gonna have the Gouda pulled pork mac and cheese again. It was so good, but we're gonna split it this time because it was really kind of big. They said they also have meatloaf on the menu.
Oh, really?
That sounded good too, meatloaf.
Oh, we could do meatloaf.
We could do meatloaf.
We could venture and try something new.
We could. We don't know how big that is though, the portion sizing.
YOLO.
YOLO, yeah. Listen to the people singing. Isn't this great up here? I just love it up here. It's just freeing and whatnot. Yeah. Let me show you. So cool, guys. So cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's been happening to update you on, but not really. Nothing really happened last week, did it, Patrick? It was kind of a boring week, wasn't it?
It was.
It's kind of a boring week, yeah. I mean, YouTube too was kind of a boring week. I hung out in T-Rev's stream a lot last week. That was actually really fun. And he put a lot of my comments up on the thing. It's a really cool stream. And then, what else was I watching last week on the YouTube? Peter Mon, his videos have been really good lately, but he always does a good job. Oh yeah, James Charles came out with a new The Basics palette. Fucking dumbass. Like, honestly, guys, like, I was like, really? Like, you're gonna ruin Christmas, huh, James?
Oh, completely.
You're gonna make me want to go down to the LAPD early because we know what you're gonna be doing with that money you got. It's just like, that is just, I still am floored that people are excusing away the fact that he is checking IDs. Peter Mon keeps bringing this up, thank God, and he keeps going, it is not okay to be online and say, oh yeah, I am looking at people that look so young, I have to check their ID. As like a 25-year-old man. What the hell? Like, people just don't, it's no excuse, man. It is your responsibility to know the law of the land. Like, I mean, shit. Some people just don't actually know the laws of where they're fucking living. I mean, take for a hypothetical example, right? I'm a disabled person, so actually this is good. You should probably know this, okay? So, let's take this hypothetical situation. There's some people in the world who don't understand that when you use certain tactics, you know, to intimidate somebody who's part of a protected class, and you're saying that you want to take these steps or legal actions against somebody because they're disabled or they're, you know, a person of color or, you know, whatnot, you know, you're infringing on somebody's civil rights. And that actually in California, Patrick, did you know that in California, there is, it's special to California, just California, okay?
Well, I knew they had a lot more protections in California opposed to other states.
Actually, yeah, because remember, guys, I told you that, you know, a lot of the disability rights came out of the San Francisco and all of the protesting. So there's a law here in California that is special, and it's Penal Code 422.6. And it says that you cannot use, like, say, legal tactics, threats of intimidation, threats of bodily harm. You can't intimidate someone with, like, you know, saying you're gonna go get it. You know how people on here on YouTube will, like, kind of go after other YouTubers with these lol suits, you know, lol suits.
Right.
And then they'll go file restraining orders on somebody who they've never met in person. They've only seen online, right? So, well, if you're doing that because you don't like that somebody is disabled, like, okay, you can be disabled for a lot of different ways. Like, it's being part of the disability community and that protected class. There's a lot more nuances because we're disabled because of health issues that we just can't control, right? But as long as our doctors, we're under a doctor's care, right? Like I am. Like, I've talked a lot about my mental health right here on this channel because I think it's important that we don't stigmatize mental health. Because I think I've heard a lot of people, now this goes back to, like, I've heard Trisha Paytas, she's an iffy person, like, okay, like, not a great person, right? But a lot of people want to make fun of her and put her down because she has had to check herself into, like, a rehab or a mental institution, actually. She's had to do that, and people have put her down for it. And I've actually heard a lot of people talking that we need to not stigmatize things like that, because then we stigmatize people getting help for mental health, and then we get these escalated problems later on, like mass shootings. So, eek, right? So, that is, if you have disabled because of your mental health, or because of your back, or because you have a brain tumor, or, it's getting really dark, can you tell? Or, you know, whatnot, and somebody doesn't like that, and they threaten to, like, do something and take away your freedoms, that it actually says that they're actually infringing on your enjoyment of your freedoms under the Constitution. And
California Constitution.
Yes, California Constitution says that you cannot intimidate, harass, injure, threaten somebody who is a protected class and use those things that are protected against them. It's illegal. And it's actually a fine up to, like, a year in prison, and I think it's a $500 fine or something, but it's up to a year in prison. And here's the really interesting part I was reading. I don't know why this website went into it. I don't know why, but this was super interesting. It went into, like, now, say you're here, you're not a US citizen, right? We've all talked a lot about citizenship because of Foodie Beauty over here and whatnot, because she lives in Kuwait now.
Hey guys, we're here at the biggest McDonald's in the Middle East in Kuwait City, right next to the Kuwait Towers. So, we're gonna try the breakfast today. I haven't tried the breakfast here at McDonald's in the Middle East yet, so yalla, let's go.
Now, so, not very much of a pivot over here, right? Right. So, okay. So, this website told me that if you're a citizen, say you're here, like...
You're not a citizen.
Or you're not a citizen, right? And you're here, like, on a visa. Like, say, like, a student visa. And you're going to school, and you get a misdemeanor. Now, like I said, if you violate a law like this, it's a misdemeanor. Calling up an attorney and, like, threatening to file false things against somebody because of their disabilities is actually breaking the law, according to Penal Code 422.6 of the California Constitution, because it's infringing on my or somebody's rights as a protected class. So, like, yeah, it was really interesting. This all popped up. I saw this somewhere on the internet this week.
But what was it saying about if you're on a visa?
Oh yeah, this is it. You'll get your visa revoked, and you'll get deported, and you'll get kicked out of school.
Wow, like, so you just get sent back.
You get sent back. So say you're someone here, and let's say you didn't understand the laws like you should.
Right.
You didn't educate yourself before you like came to specifically California, because a lot of people will just educate themselves on the larger constitution.
Like U.S.
The U.S. Constitution. They never, I'm sorry, it's getting so dark in here, but yeah. Oh, you can see pink there. You can see pink. But yeah, they won't educate themselves. They will just go off of what the basic Constitution is. And we all know what our Bill of Rights is and amendments are and whatnot. But people forget about state constitutions and that every state is different. So, like I said, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, that helps. So, like I said, if you're going to be moving to another country or another state, you need to know the laws of the land. And you need to understand that when you don't like someone because of their disability, which could be mental health, like I said, or it could be walking with a cane like me.
Any other kind of
it could be an invisible disability. It could be because you have one eye. It could be because of a lot of people who have mental deficits and stuff, they get put down a lot. And we see
autism or stuff.
Autism and things like that. And there was back in the 60s, and part of Crip Camp talks about how they used to lock up disabled people away from society because they didn't think that we fit into society and that we were weird and abnormal and we were a danger to society. Did you know that, Patrick?
I did not know that.
Yeah, actually, people used to get locked up in mental institutions who had like mental defects and stuff. And so that's why we have laws like Penal Code 422.6, is so that people like me, you know, or other people who are suffering with disabilities and whatnot, or just existing and living their life, can't have their freedoms infringed upon. Like this thing I saw on the internet. You know? You can just see the bottom of my face. It looks cool. Because of my hat.
I was trying to like hit it some angle on the light.
I got it. Woo! So yeah, like I said, if you're gonna move somewhere, you need to know, because you might be messing around with something dangerous that might get your ass deported. The other thing too, guys, threatening bodily harm against a disabled person, especially someone who can't defend themselves, especially someone who has like you know, weapons. Yeah, it's not good. So I just want you guys to be aware that you guys need to educate yourself on your disability rights, on your rights as a human being, because there are people who want to take those rights from you away, and they look at us like we need to be locked up because we're just existing. And we have laws and people like Judy Herman who fought for our rights, who slept in a building, who, you know, disabled people who slept on a floor and stuff, so that we could have these freedoms and not have people intimidate us just simply for existing. So I just wanted you guys to know that's important. And I saw this thing and I was just like, you know, I think it's important to educate people on, you know, Penal Code 422.6 in California. I know a lot of you live outside of California, but just, it's good to know your rights.
And there's no telling, you know, when laws like that might come to states that you live in.
Right, exactly. Like, a lot of things change, and there's a lot of precedences that get set in other states. And this was one of them, I'm hoping, because there are a lot of people out there who will use tactics and use our disabilities against us to hold us back in life or make us hide in our homes and be scared. And you can't be scared. You can't let someone intimidate you just because of who you are. Like I've heard Peter Mon said, I'm in my standing up for me era. Me too, you know? And we gotta know our rights so that we can educate ourselves on what we can do in certain situations. Because if you don't educate yourself and you just, in certain situations, lower yourself to ad hominem attacks, or, you know, what else are they called? Logical fallacies?
Logical fallacies, yeah.
You're not going to win, you're going to lose. And then weaponizing somebody's being just who they are, and wanting to weaponize that. So because you don't like them existing in the world, or you don't understand them, or you misinterpreted something they said because you're an ableist.
Yeah, but no, we just wanted to educate you guys to make sure that, you know, people were aware.
Right.
And, you know, to remind everybody that it's important to know the laws of your area.
Like James Charles doesn't. James Charles doesn't educate himself. He thinks it's perfectly fine that he's just checking IDs. People have fake IDs. Sometimes that shit is not enough. Am I right? Am I right? But yeah, know the laws of your land. If you're moving somewhere, like we think about going to Japan someday, we've educated ourselves. We know that, like, you gotta hold on to your garbage. There's a lot of laws about, like, being strict over there and being clean and being respectful and honoring things. And we're educating ourselves so that if we do ever go to Japan someday, we don't offend the citizens that live there or infringe on their rights. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. If you're going to go to someone else's country, which is like their home, you need to actually be respectful of them and the people that live there, so. But isn't this cool, you guys? Look. Wee. I can't get over how beautiful this is. You can't see it, but you can hear it. Oh, yeah.
What if you show them right here by us?
Over
there. No, not.
Nope.
No.
What?
The water. You're showing them the stream. It's closer. Maybe they could see. I don't know.
No.
No. All right.
We tried. We'll go see the glittering valley, though. Look, here's where the tram's coming, guys. It's glittering.
That's all Desert Hot Springs right there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Highway 62.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool. And then you can see Morongo, Yucca Valley. I wonder where that, you could see where that fire is up there.
Oh yeah, look at that, the red, the glow.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were coming up, guys, we could see smoke. And right over there, there's like a fire. You can see the blinking light. The blinking light right there is them putting out the fire and stuff, and then there's smoke above it. Well, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to check when we get home to see if they got where that's at and if they got it contained or whatever. But
yeah.
Dang, this is really cool out here. Look, you can see where the tram car operators. Like, there's a little seat and stuff for security down there.
Yeah.
You can see all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like right down Chino Canyon.
Yeah. Blue light. Neat. Here's the better view, guys. Woo, look at it glitter.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. This reminds me of that scene in Suzume when she's falling.
Oh, yeah, huh?
It's so pretty. It looks like glitter. Dinner was amazing. We picnicked more than the average bear.
Yeah.
We're smarter than the average bear.
Smarter than the average bear.
They had a sign that said no picnicking, and I was like, that reminds me of Yogi Bear, so. Smarter than...
Yeah, boo-boo. Let's go steal some picnic baskets.
Smarter than the average bear. Yabba... No, Yabba Dabba Doo is Flintstones.
Yeah.
Wrong cartoon, but smarter than the average bear.
don't even feel it. Yeah. I'm not trying to think about it too much.
Been doing this for 27 years. Smooth operator.
Yo, yes, several days later. I know, I'm a freaking mess, but remember to always dream of a better day. But yeah, I'm a freaking mess, guys. I'm sorry, but cleaning, laundry's going, packing's going, because Patrick's taking me on a surprise weekend. I know, he's taking me out to the beach again, so we're staying somewhere different, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But yeah, I just wanted to end the vlog here. Remember, guys, to educate yourselves on the laws in your area, especially if you're a disabled person like me, so you know your civil rights. Because if you don't know the laws of your land and you just kind of do things impulsively, you could be playing around with some very serious shit. And remember, the things you say sometimes say more about you than it does about other people. Ableism. Anyways, I love you guys, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys at the beach.